Today I'd like to show you how to harvest carrots in the field. So there's a couple conditions that might change that would change your protocol on how you harvest them. I usually harvest carrots with a garden fork, and that's because usually my soil is pretty heavy. On the many different farm sites I've had in Kelowna, BC, where I live, I've had to harvest them with the fork most of the time. The soils are heavy, often compacted, and I've had to work them back. So I always need a fork. Sometimes you don't need a fork. And if that's the case, you can just go down and just pull carrots out of the ground one by one. A lot of people will just sit on their knees. If you've got wide walkways, like 18 inches or more, you can just be on your knees, you can change positions however you like, and you can just sit down there and pull them out and take the tops off or bunch them as they go. That can work just fine if you've got soil like that. I don't. So I always have to use a fork. And what I do is I stand in the walkway sideways, and I'm right-handed, so my fork's on my right hand. I bring a bin with me on the left, and I'll go in and I'll fork out about 4 or 5 feet of row at a time, put my fork in the ground, then go back and pull bunches out at a time. They come out nice and easy. And sometimes you only need to fork every second row because the one row is only a few inches from the others. That soil is often soft enough or loosened enough that you can pull them out. But in any case, the idea is to fork out sections at a time. That allows you to move your hand evenly along the row, and what I like about doing them by rows is that you can see what you're getting, and so it's kind of easier to grab. You're not getting tangled up or things like that. And that can happen if you're forking the bed out on the front, which sometimes I've done that many times in the past, but this is the way that I prefer to do it the most. So you can see as I'm bunching them, I'm keeping these are for storage, these carrots, so I'm just going to be taking the tops off, and these beds are not going to get turned over immediately. They're just going to get tarped for the winter. So I'm just throwing the greens on the ground, rough as that, and I'm not worried about that at all, and I'm just going along a section at a time. And what I like about doing sections is it's often correlates to a bin that you've got, and you can kind of time it that way. Now you can, once you've done a bit, you can look ahead and say, okay, I've got about 5 or 6 bins left on this bed. That's helpful if you're communicating to team members about when something will be ready, because they might be getting ahead in the post-harvest area and now they're ready to receive these carrots, so you can have timelines for your team. If you guys like that video, hit the subscribe button, share and like the videos with your friends, and if you want to see more of my long-form content where I visit farms or get into specific subjects or types of farms, head over to fromthefield.tv, and there's more content up there now than there is on YouTube, and I've been posting to YouTube since January 2014, and over the last 2 years I've exceeded the amount of total time for videos at From the Field than YouTube. So it is where I post most of my stuff, and if you want to check that out, because that supports me directly, unlike supporting me on YouTube, which of course I appreciate, but it goes through Google and all these companies. But fromthefield.tv is my place. You're supporting my work directly, and I hope to see some of you guys over there. Have a good one.